Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Ian Saturday Night. I have something that I wrestle with that always makes me think, and that is the idea that nothing is perfect or controllable. I've had some friends that say when my face is frozen on screen by YouTube, not by me specifically, but by YouTube, it seems like I have a scary face. But I realize that you can't control this. No offense to the people that might think that my face is scary. I realize that you can't control this, and that no video appearance by me is going to be perfect or relaxed, because that's just how my body is. And this is just something this is a variable that people deal with because the nature of my circumstance. Probably even Christopher Reeve, when he was in his chair, couldn't compose him. And Christopher Reeve was the height of charisma and the height of physical beauty in my estimation, inside and outside. So I'm sure that he had his muscular problems. I'm not just talking about his accident either. I'm talking about in all incarnations of himself. So I think I wrestle with this idea of being perfect and relaxed on film, but the fact remains that I'll probably never be perfectly relaxed. I mean, there have been times where I've been in tears and times where I've been physically afraid, and some have said I've experienced trauma. That very well may be, but I go on each day and I'm a part of the human experience. My goal in life is just to experience life and all that it has for me. I don't really want to, I don't really have ideas of success with myself, because success with myself is not I don't really have, I might be strange in this, but I honestly don't have feelings of success with my occupation or my creative life or whatever have you, in things that people normally measure success with. My success is, I kind of don't have an idea of success. My idea is just to go through life and experience, because some of you might disagree with me here, and I understand, but I think the best I can hope for is to be a kind person and to move through life the best I can. And to me, that has no bearing on financial or experiential success in terms of attaining. Of course, I know that you need to have a roof over your head, and you need to have purpose. I mean, that's debatable whether someone really needs purpose in one's life, because in my experience, purpose gets in the way of ego. Purpose gets in the way of ego, and purpose kind of goes out the window. One's purpose is another person's confinement. So I realize that I'm probably getting dense in my ultra philosophical in my talk here, but these are all the things that I wrestle with. I think I'm a surrealist in the sense that most things that trouble most people don't really bother me. One thing that you learn having cerebral palsy is not having an ego. So in that sense, I'm free of ego. I realize that I'm as self-centered as anyone sometimes, but if you think of a person that doesn't have an ego, maybe I'm a little bit closer to it than most, because I don't believe in forcing things. I don't believe in controlling things. Of course, I do want to look good on film. I'm not saying I don't want to look good, but the normal things that people are concerned about don't really concern me, because I realize at the end of the day, we're going to be left with a pile of bones, and we have to be just, the more meaningful thing is to be the nicest person that you can be, with empathy and heart. All the rest is how people think of you, and material things, and some of those things pass away. So I realize that these are all subjective concepts, being a nice person, but for the most part, I think being a nice person is being able to listen. That's the first part of being nice. To being kind. Not nice. Nice even doesn't mean anything. The word nice. If you look at it in the dictionary, it means fastidiously exacting. Nice. It doesn't really mean anything. The more meaningful thing would be to be kind and to give of yourself. So I think that's the best way to be. I've given up striving for things for the most part. Most of you have followed my video journey, and most of the things in life that people strive for, like job success or a career, I pretty much realize that that's different from me. I'm just concerned with experiencing as much as I can in my life, and to being the best listener I can. And I realize that I'm not perfect by any means. I have I might have some fetishes in there, but I mean, some of you might know that I kind of have things that excite my romantic sensibilities, and I've hinted on them before, so if you pay close attention, you know what they are. I'm not perfect by any means, but I try to do my best. And as I started this blog, I said I know I would have some people that are not thrilled, maybe not thrilled with my point of view, or think I'm coming from a lofty position, but I really don't strive to come from a lofty position, thinking that I'm better than anyone, but I'll try to do my best. And for those of you who have comments, I'll be grateful, and I'll listen to you to the best of my ability. Sometimes when I get comments, I've only gotten positive ones so far, but for the most part. But if your comments seem a little glib or verbose, I might be a little taken aback by long comments, but I'll read through them, and I'll give you feedback the best I can, because I don't take any of my subscribers for granted. Well, I've talked a lot here, and it's getting colder here, so I have news. I'm working on my course on Frankenstein, so I'm excited about that. In a couple of months, hopefully the studios will give me the green light. I think about my position in space in terms of my wheelchair. I like to sit up the best I can, and of course I can't be straight up and down because of the tension in my body, but I always try to work on it and to be the straight as I can, and that also takes up my mind a bit, going through space and wanting to be as straight as possible. Of course, orthopedists have wanted to straighten out my body since I was about 16 years old, and I said no, because they would have to go in through my chest and do some bone crunching in there, and that's always very scary. I had a friend have that surgery, spine surgery, and I don't want to give you bad news, but actually 2 years ago, about a year and a half ago now, he passed away at 50. He was about 58 years old, and I'm about 59 right now. So I've lived 12 months longer than he did. So it's all been very sobering for me to think about, and I also think about my mortality. That's also why I was very forceful in the past years about my romance with Joaquin. I don't mind mentioning her name, but I was very forceful, and I like to think that I was loving, but she probably doesn't think I was very loving. That's something that she'll have to contend with, because I made an impression on her that I had an aspect of humility about the experience. So for my part, I don't pretend to be perfect, as I said, but each person sees the relationship in their own way, and from my point of view, I extended myself above and beyond physically or humanly possible from my experience, and basically that wasn't good enough for her needs, so we parted company, in a manner of speaking, even though that wasn't totally solidified either. So it's all very strange, but my friend went into the great jazz palace in the sky, because he liked jazz and he liked blues. So I like to think that he went to the big music auditorium in the sky. So it's all very strange, but I realize that I'm almost 60 years old, and I realize that my days might be numbered, maybe in 5 years or 6 years or whatever. Not that I expect it to happen, but we never know. So it's all been very sobering for me. I try to take it with a light heart, and in that sense, all I can do is keep going. I covered a lot of bases today with you. Sometimes I think it's all gobbledygook, and it's all a matter of free association in my head, but it's all things that I think about, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye, everybody.